Chief Emeka Obi, a titan of industry whose name echoed through the opulent halls of Lagos, found himself adrift in a sea of his own making. Despite his immense wealth, his sprawling Ikoyi mansion felt like a gilded cage, its vast rooms echoing with a loneliness that even his army of staff couldn't dispel. His late wife's absence lingered like a heavy shroud, and his only biological daughter, Ada, was perpetually overseas, pursuing her own grand ambitions. One sweltering afternoon, caught in the infamous Lagos traffic, Chief Obi's gaze drifted to a street corner teeming with life and struggle. There, amidst the chaos, a young boy with eyes too bright for his ragged clothes skillfully navigated the throng, hawking sachet water with a tenacity that struck a chord deep within the chief. Something about the boy's raw resilience, his unspoken promise, tugged at Obi's heart. He was carnal, barely 10, orphaned by a market fire that claimed his makeshift home and his guardians. His days were a relentless cycle of hawking, sleeping rough, and dreaming of a life beyond the dust and din. Hope was a luxury he rarely afforded himself, yet a flicker ignited as a sleek, black SUV pulled over. A sharply dressed aide emerged, beckoning Connor towards the vehicle. Fear mixed with a strange curiosity as Connor approached, clutching his meager earnings. He had seen many wealthy people from afar, but never imagined one would stop for him. Chief Obi, from the air-conditioned comfort of his car, studied the boy. He saw not just a hawker, but a spirit unbroken, a mind brimming with potential. In that moment, a whimsical, yet deeply felt, decision formed in his mind: this boy, Connor, would be his next project, his legacy, perhaps even his salvation from the gnawing emptiness. Connor stepped into Chief Obi's Ikoyi mansion, and his world tilted on its axis. The marble floors gleamed, reflecting chandeliers that sparkled like constellations. Servants moved with hushed efficiency, and the air, cooled by invisible forces, smelled of expensive polish and exotic flowers. It was a palace, a stark contrast to the rough concrete and open drains he had called home. His small, careless feet felt alien on the plush Persian rugs, and the silence, punctuated only by the distant murmur of the city, was deafening compared to the constant clamor of the streets. He was given a room, larger than any space he had ever known, with a bed so soft it felt like sleeping on clouds. A pristine bathroom with endless running water seemed like a miracle. Chief Obi watched him with a paternal fondness. He had seen the initial wide-eyed wonder, the hesitant movements, and the quiet awe. This was not just charity, it was an investment in a new kind of family, a chance to nurture raw talent and shape a future. He envisioned Connor as the son he never had, someone who would truly appreciate all he could offer. Lessons began almost immediately. Tutors were hired, tailored clothes ordered, and a new regimen of nutrition and hygiene was put in place. Connor, ever the quick study, absorbed it all like a sponge. He learned table manners, polite conversation, and the intricacies of Chief Obi's vast business empire from dinner discussions. Despite the luxurious surroundings, a part of Connor remained guarded, a street-honed instinct for survival still humming beneath the surface. He was grateful, profoundly so, but a flicker of something else, something calculating, occasionally crossed his eyes when he thought no one was watching. He knew this was an opportunity, one he would not squander. Connor's transformation was remarkable. Within months, the gaunt, ragged street boy had filled out, his skin glowing with health, his sharp features refined by good living. He devoured books, excelled in his private lessons, and displayed an astonishing aptitude for numbers and strategy that even surprised Chief Obi's seasoned financial advisors. His progress was a testament to his innate intelligence and relentless drive. Chief Obi swelled with pride, often introducing Connor to his associates as his brightest discovery. He recounted the story of their meeting with dramatic flair, painting himself as the benevolent benefactor who saw potential where others saw only poverty. Connor, for his part, played the role of the grateful, humble ward to perfection, always respectful, always eager to please. He accompanied Chief Obi to meetings, listening intently, absorbing every nuance of the intricate world of high finance and corporate maneuvering. He asked insightful questions that often prompted surprised looks from seasoned executives, further cementing Obi's belief that he had found a true prodigy, an inheritor worthy of his legacy. The staff, initially wary of the street boy, slowly warmed to his charming demeanor and diligent work ethic. He never forgot a face, always offered a kind word, and seemed genuinely interested in their lives, fostering an image of humility and genuine warmth that endeared him to almost everyone in the household. Chief Obi often mused to himself that adopting Connor was one of the best decisions he had ever made. The emptiness in his mansion seemed to recede, replaced by the lively discussions and the quiet, reassuring presence of the boy he now considered a son. He saw a future where Connor stood by his side, ready to take the reins of the Obi conglomerate. Ada Obi, Chief Obi's only biological daughter, returned from her studies abroad with a flourish, a whirlwind of designer luggage and international sophistication. She was a woman of fierce independence, accustomed to being her father's sole focus, his prized jewel. The news of a newly adopted brother, a boy from the streets no less, had reached her via fragmented phone calls, sparking a mix of curiosity and subtle apprehension. Her initial encounter with Connor in the grand foyer was a study in contrast. Ada, poised and elegant, extended a manicured hand. Connor, now immaculately dressed and carrying himself with a new confidence, met her gaze with a polite, almost practiced smile. There was an undeniable spark of intelligence in his eyes, but also a guardedness she couldn't quite place. Chief Obi, beaming, tried to bridge the gap, emphasizing Connor's rapid progress and Ada's academic achievements. He hoped for an immediate sibling bond, a harmonious blending of his two children. Ada, ever the diplomat, offered polite congratulations on Connor's studies, while Connor expressed his admiration for her global adventures. Over the next few weeks, a tentative friendship began to form. Ada, despite her initial reservations, found Connor surprisingly engaging. He was witty, intelligent, and seemed genuinely interested in her life and ideas. They discussed books, art, and even the complexities of her father's business, in which Connor was becoming increasingly involved. Yet, Ada couldn't shake a persistent feeling of unease. There was a certain intensity in Connor's gaze, a calculating glint that occasionally surfaced, especially when her father spoke of his future plans for the family business. It was almost imperceptible, but it sent a shiver down her spine, a silent alarm bell that she couldn't quite articulate. As the days turned into weeks, Ada's initial acceptance of Connor began to curdle into a subtle unease. She watched him, an almost imperceptible shift in his demeanor that no one else seemed to notice. His gratitude, once so effusive, now felt carefully measured, a performance rather than a genuine emotion. He was too perfect, too eager to please, almost unnervingly so. She noticed the way his eyes lingered on her father's antique desk, or the way he subtly steered conversations towards the chief's will and legacy. It wasn't overt, but a quiet, almost predatory interest in the deeper workings of the Obi empire. When Chief Obi praised Connor's business acumen, Ada saw not pride in Connor's eyes, but a glint of something colder, something akin to possession. Ada, a keen observer of human nature, started to pick up on little inconsistencies. Connor would sometimes use phrases or display knowledge that seemed too sophisticated for someone who had, until recently, lived on the streets. He was always well informed about her father's associates, even those the chief rarely discussed at home.